Give me 5 minutes, and I'll show you the Social Security math nobody runs. Most couples walk into a Social Security decision asking one question: when do I break even? Claim at 62, get a smaller check for longer. Wait till 70, get a bigger check, but fewer of them. The math works out somewhere around 80 to 81 for most people, according to the Social Security Administration. And if you're single, that framing is not wrong. But if you're married, that question is getting you to the wrong answer almost every single time. And I'm going to show you exactly why. I'm Mike Dunlop, a CFP, Air Force veteran, and a co-founder of Ignite Financial in Cedar Falls, Iowa. We built the firm flat fee and fee only on purpose. No commissions, no percentage of your nest egg, no sales pitch. I was trained as an accountant, so I'm conservative with the numbers and maybe a little obsessed with not leaving Uncle Sam a tip. But mostly, I've got the heart of a teacher. If you don't understand what we're doing, I haven't done my job. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you the 2 layers of math most people skip entirely, walk you through the numbers on a real hypothetical scenario, and leave you with one question that reframes this whole decision. So let's get into it. The break-even math, it's real and worth understanding before we explain why it's incomplete. If the higher earner in a couple claims at 62 instead of 70, they're taking permanently reduced benefit, typically around 70% to 75% of what they would have received at full retirement age. For someone born in 1960 or later, that's age 67. Delay till 70 and you earn delayed retirement credits of 8% per year past the full retirement, according to the Social Security Administration. And that stacks up. The benefit can be 24% or 32% higher than the full retirement age amount. And that depends on exactly when you were born. So, yes, the person who claims at 62 gets checks for 8 more years. And yes, somewhere around 80 or 81, the person who waited till 70 catches up in total dollars collected. But after that crossover, the delay winner pulls ahead more every single year that they keep living. But the break-in frame has a hidden assumption baked in. It treats this decision as a single-person problem. 2 people go in, and the math only models one of them. The moment one spouse dies, that break-even spreadsheet, it becomes irrelevant. What replaces it is the survivor benefit, and that's where the real money is. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, but Mike, what if we claim early and invest the extra checks? Can't I come out ahead? Well, maybe. If the market cooperates for a decade and you don't panic sell and neither of you lives past 85, maybe. But we're talking about guaranteed, inflation-adjusted, government-backed income for life. That's a different category of asset than your portfolio. Don't compare a sure thing to a maybe. Chapter 2, the survivor benefit, the number that actually matters. When one spouse dies, the surviving spouse doesn't keep both Social Security checks. They keep one, the larger of the 2, and that's the rule. And the size of that surviving check, it's locked in at the moment the higher earner claimed. So let's run the numbers on a hypothetical couple, and I'll call them Tom and Carol. Tom is the higher earner with a full retirement age benefit of $2,800 a month. Carol's benefit on her owner record is $1,200 a month. They're both 62, and they're trying to figure out when Tom should claim. Let's look at scenario 1. Tom claims at 62. His benefit gets reduced roughly to $1,960 a month, and that's about a 70% of his full retirement age amount. They collect together for a while, and then Tom dies at age 78. Carol's own $1,200 check now goes away. She steps into Tom's survivor benefit instead, and that's locked in at $1,960 per month. She lives to 93. That's 15 years on $1,960 a month. Scenario 2, on the other hand, Tom decides to wait till 70. His benefit grows to roughly $3,482 a month, and that's using the full delayed credit stack. Same timeline, Tom dies at age 78, but now Carol steps into Tom's survivor benefit locked in at $3,482 a month. She lives till 93, that same 15 years, but on $3,482 a month instead. That's a monthly difference of about $1,522. Over 15 years, that's more than $274,000 in additional income for Carol. And that's in today's dollars before any of the cost of living adjustments. That is not a rounding error. That's the difference between Carol living comfortably and Carol making difficult choices about her fixed expenses every single month for 15 years. And Tom, he won't be there to help her figure it out. We see a version of this situation constantly when couples first come in to talk through this decision. The higher earner is thinking about his own break even. Nobody has run what happens to her. Chapter 3, the spousal benefit, the layer people forget. And so there's a second piece of the math that often gets ignored as well, and it sits right on top of the survivor benefit question. While both spouses are alive, the lower earning spouse may be entitled to a spousal benefit of up to 50% of the higher earner's retirement age benefit, according to the Social Security Administration. Now, that's not 15% of what the higher earning actually collects. It's 15% of their full retirement age amount. So going back to Tom and Carol, with Tom's full retirement amount at age 67, it was $2,800. 50% of that is $1,400. Carol's own record pays $1,200. So if Tom is claimed and Carol is at her own full retirement age, she gets bumped up to $1,400 instead of her own $1,200. Small difference, but real money that's compounded over the years. Now, if Tom claims early at 62 and takes a reduced benefit, that does not reduce Carol's spousal benefit. Her spousal benefit is still calculated off of Tom's full retirement age number, not the reduced one he's actually collecting. So the spousal benefit during their joint lifetime really isn't dramatically harmed by the fact that Tom claimed early, but the survivor benefit is. And that's a symmetry worth burning into your memory. The other part of this is timing for Carol herself. If Carol claims her own benefit early, that gets permanently reduced too. And once Tom is gone and she moves to the survivor benefit, her own record becomes irrelevant. So Carol's claiming age only matters during the years that they're both alive. And Tom's claiming age sets her income for the rest of her life after he is gone. And those are two very different stakes. So if you're a couple where one of you earns significantly more than the other, drop your situation in the comments. I'm really curious how many people watching are in the single earner or the lopsided earner household. It does considerably change the math. Chapter 4, the tax piece nobody runs either. Before we close with the reframe, there's a tax interaction that's worth a minute of your time because it quietly makes the early claim case weaker than it actually looks. Social Security benefits can be taxed at the federal level, and the IRS uses what they call provisional income, and that's your adjusted gross income plus any tax-exempt interest plus half of your Social Security benefit. So for married couples that file jointly, once provisional income crosses $32,000, up to 50% of your benefit becomes taxable. Above $44,000, up to 85% of your benefit is now taxable. Those thresholds, according to the IRS, have never been indexed for inflation. They've been the same since 1993, which means that more and more retirees are crossing them every year without any changes in the law, simply because everything costs more. So, What does this mean for the claiming decision? If you retire at age 62 and claim Social Security right away, you may still have some income coming in from either part-time work, maybe it's a pension or portfolio withdrawals. Now, stack your Social Security on top of that, and you could be paying income tax on 85% of your benefit during the years when your tax rate is relatively high. Wait till 70 and spend some of those early retirement years doing Roth conversion at lower brackets, reducing your taxable income later, and potentially reducing the years where your Social Security is fully in the crosshairs. It's a cleaner tax picture, and it lets you fill the lower brackets with Roth conversions instead of leaving that room unused. From a financial perspective, the delay helps on multiple fronts: bigger survival benefit, bigger spousal base, and a better tax setup. From the non-financial side, you've got to weigh your health, your need for income, and how much you trust yourself to bridge that gap. And those things are real, and it's ultimately your decision at the end of the day. The break-even question, it's not going away. It's a natural question, and it makes intuitive sense. But for married couples, it's the wrong starting point. The question that actually drives a sound decision is this one: what is the monthly income my surviving spouse will live on, and for how long? Not, when do I personally break even? That question ends at the higher earner's death. The real decision outlives him or her and lands entirely on the other spouse. Run Tom and Carol again. Tom asking, when do I break even, looks at his own lifetime of collected benefits. Tom asking, what does Carol live on if I'm gone at 78, looks at a 15-year widow's income stream that he controls with this single decision, made once, and it's permanent. Every year past full retirement age that Tom delays, it adds 8% to the survivor benefit Carol will collect for the rest of her life. That's not a maybe. That's a compounding guarantee built into the structure of Social Security itself. A portfolio is what you have. A plan is what it's for. The Social Security decision is one of the few times in retirement planning where one choice, made correctly, can quietly add hundreds of thousands of dollars to the weaker spouse's lifetime income. Most couples never model it. They just pick an age that feels right, or they claim as soon as they can because the check feels like found money. It's not found money. It's a pricing decision on a lifetime annuity, and the price is set the day you filed. Recap. So here's where we land. The break-even frame, it works for single people, but for married couples, it misses two numbers that matter the absolute most: the survivor benefit that locks in the day the higher earner files, and the tax setup that either helps or hurts depending on when that income starts. So stop asking when you break even and start asking what your surviving spouse lives on and for how many years. If you want to run your actual numbers, not a hypothetical couple, but your own earnings record and your own ages, book a free intro meeting with Ignite through the link in the description. We'll look at the math together. No sales pitch, no commitment, ready to take the guesswork out of retirement. Book your free intro meeting with Ignite today. Take care, guys.